video for A because it comes out in the morning.
Oh, say less.
All right.
I don't ever wanna fall when I'm this high.
I wrote a letter to myself in the form of a song I can play when the sun shines. I know better than to trust anything that I say to myself when I'm this high. Ay, 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 ay,
I don't ever wanna fall when I'm this high.
ay, 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 ay.
I don't ever wanna fall when I'm this
I
high.
just did an interview with my eyes closed. I just sparked a blunt, it looked like pyro. Only comments I see are the bad ones. Only playlists I like are the sad ones. I let the medicine in, I know it don't help in the end, but I got depression again. I had a meeting at 7, I skipped it and slept and then woke up at 7 p.m. I cut my hair off like Britney, sprinkled dust like a pixie, wipe my nose like it's itchy. I'm tatted up, I don't give a fuck. Ay, 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 ay.
I don't ever wanna fall when I'm this high.
Ay, 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 ay.
I don't ever wanna fall when I'm this high.
When I'm this high, when I'm this high, I just looked in the mirror, who is this guy? It's a full moon, but a good shrooms. I'm too fucking high, sound like a good school, higher than Jehovah. Highway to heaven, you know I'ma get pulled over. I'ma need a chauffeur, lean in my soda, so I'ma need a shoulder. Why you got your nose up? I smell like Guns N' Roses. Ay, 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 ay.
I don't ever wanna fall when I'm this high.
Ay, 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 ay.
I don't ever wanna fall when I'm this high. I don't ever wanna fall when I'm this high.
Motherfucker Weezy killed that shit. Damn. Okay, that's a wrap on the A video. Honorary mention bass. His dance moves aren't exactly what we needed for this film, but he's here in spirit. He's here in spirit. He produced. That's him playing the guitar right there. So you know.
All right, class. Well, that concludes today's lesson. You know that spring break is coming up, so I want you kids to have fun, but not too much fun. You know what I'm saying? All right. Everything you need to know is in your study guides. Hope you all have a good spring break, and you know,
Strum. Strum. Hello. Hello, everybody. Just getting a few things settled right before we go completely live. You guys should be able to hear me. The music shouldn't be too loud. And, yeah. Alright. So, hypothetically, what we were supposed to be doing was, there we go. What we were supposed to be doing was playing some TFT or some League of Legends. We're not going to be doing that because I can't log in, unfortunately. There's no way for me to log in. I've been sitting here for the last 10 minutes trying to log in, and it's just not letting me. I have pulled up the service status over here so we can see what it's like and when we'll be able to log in, and we'll be trying to log in constantly. But until then, until this doesn't get fixed, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. We're just stuck here doing nothing. So I have gone ahead and gone to the League of Legends website, and I figured we could watch the dev update to kill some time while we wait. So, let's get into it, everybody. You guys should be able to hear it. That Annie and Timbers, by the way,
Paul, aka
insane.
And I'm Andre,
Insane.
also known as Metal. Welcome to Season 1 of 2026.
This might be a little bit too loud for you guys. Hold up. There you go. That should be better. I think.
And beyond.
First though, let's quickly recap what you can expect when you log in tomorrow.
Let's see what we can expect when we log in. It's also quite cold. I'm going to get my blanket.
Whether you're playing ranked, norms, or swift play, you're in for some changes. Right off the bat, in those queues, you'll be hitting your first minions faster as we increase speeds,
there we go.
select, and the first minion in
Be
jungle.
chilling
We also
with our
adjusted
blanket.
gameplay systems like Phalites for expanded temporary warding zones, 9 new and returning items, and a new demolish-like mechanic on towers called Crystalline Overgrowth.
We've streamlined some objectives as well, removing Artican and his Blood Roses, as well as feats of strength. And we've made the remaining epic objectives, like Baron and Dragons, a bit stronger. Finally, we're also adding a unique role quest to top, mid, and bot lane, similar to the jungle and support quests, which are also getting some upgrades. Each lane will progress on those quests by killing minions, taking towers, killing enemies, or helping take down neutral objectives. And then once complete, these quests will grant rewards based off your position. That means an increased level cap and free teleport spell for top laners, tier 3 boots and empowered recall for mid, or more gold and a 7th item slot for bot.
There's a lot more in store, including a whole bunch
What
of
does-
additional changes for swift play. If you want a refresher,
What does an empowered recall mean? Like, what's empowered about recalling? Is it faster? If you complete the quest, is the recall faster? Does it regenerate your health quicker when you get to the fountain so you can leave faster? What's empowered mean?
check out the dev blogs from December that are linked in the description. All right, moving on. Let's talk a bit about what you can expect going into Season 1. As we shared in December, this year we wanted to kick things off with unity, justice, and righteousness. And that means
Demacia.
But even more importantly, that means it's Shyvana time, y'all.
As most of you probably saw in yesterday's cinematic, she's looking pretty nifty with a new design. And after years of waiting, she's finally getting her update in Act 2 of this season.
Okay.
Now, aside from updated visuals for her base human and dragon forms, and of course all her skins, she's got a sort of a Dr. Mundo or Volibear level gameplay rework. At a high level, her abilities remain pretty similar, but her finer kit details and gameplay feel are meaningfully updated.
We really wanted to focus on connecting her two forms better throughout her kit. One of the clearest connections for that is her ult. Shyvana still gains fury when using abilities and taking down champions, cannons, and monsters. When she has enough fury, she can cast her ult to transform into an actual dragon this time and breathe down fire on everyone in her path.
Another part of her kit that's pretty similar to now is her passive. Shyvana will gain defensive stats and max fury for taking down champions, cannons, and neutral monsters. Build-wise, we wanted to preserve her ability to be played both as a bruiser or as a mage. That said though, in terms of a core champion theme, we want her bruiser build to be the primary choice. It's the most natural feeling one for most games. So we're going to be prioritizing that a bit over being a poke mage.
We want to save the rest of her kit for her full reveal in Act 2, and we can't wait to see what you all think when you get your hands, or claws, on her in a few patches. Summoner's Rift
was
has
cringe.
a Demacia-themed reskin with Petricite towers, gold-winged accents, and a few Easter eggs. There will also be a handful of motion comics throughout the season that will follow up on
That's a
some of
cool
the
ending
most
screen.
important season start cinematic.
Outside of that, we also have a metagame that will be live tomorrow called Demacia Rising. We're trying something different this time with a metagame that evolves over the course of the season, with updates coming out at regular intervals. In Demacia Rising, you'll experience the rise of the Kingdom of Demacia through the eyes of a young Lux, as she gets lessons in history, politics, and military strategy from her aunt.
Do I have to do like a mini game?
Take Demacia from its humble beginnings as a single small settlement to a beautiful, shiny nation. In Demacia Rising, you'll collect resources, unlock research, and recruit champions to grow your kingdom, all while fighting off invaders and suppressing.
I'm out here fucking playing Raid Shadow Legends on League of Legends.
And we wanted to make sure
Is that what's happening?
Rather than needing to say dedicate 15 to 30 minutes at a time when engaging with a metagame like this. This time, you can spend as much or as little time as you want building and managing your cities, and you'll be able to complete fights through auto-battling. Now, if you choose to spend more time playing though, you'll be rewarded with some bonus Battle Pass XP.
And finally, outside of Demacia things coming this season, we
Battle Pass XP. So excited.
It's been an incredibly popular
ARAM is shit.
Last year. Tons of you have been playing it, and you've been telling us a lot about how much fun you're having with all the wacky augments. So, it's going to be sticking around for a while longer.
ARAM is dog water. You heard it here first.
26.3. We'll share a bit more about that, though, when we get closer to the time. Outside of thematic changes, we have another change that we're trialing in some regions, starting tomorrow. Last year, we were working on really addressing game running behavior, things like inting and griefing. And we have some other improvements to cut down on dodging and lobby trolling. Like removing the ability to ban your ally's hovered champion or making it so that autofill persists through dodges.
We have another body of work that pairs with those two efforts: lobby hostage intervention. Right now, there isn't a good way for us to take immediate action on bad actors who hold lobbies hostage by threatening to run it down or just to play something that doesn't work. Either you or someone else is forced to dodge, or you have to play the game out, which means more often than not, it ends in a loss. And while the perpetrator gets punished and you get some LP refunded, your time isn't.
So, starting tomorrow, in some regions, you'll be able to terminate lobbies that are held hostage by bad actors. We've been running some tests on live servers for some time now, using your lobby reports to refine the system, and we have high confidence in our day one accuracy. We're not going to explain exactly how this works, because we don't want said bad actors to try and find ways around the system. But we are going to look at a variety of triggers. Things like, text intention. If somebody says, "I'm going to run it down," we're actually going to trust them on that one. Or if they're doing something like taking Ghost Cleanse on a champ in a lane they never play, same deal.
If the lobby is terminated, you'll be returned to the queue, similar to how it works now when someone dodges. If you enjoy playing viable off-meta picks, don't need to worry about it. We still want experimentation to thrive in League, so we'll be closely monitoring how the system works with manual reviews. We'll be rolling out these changes to all regions.
I don't really care. I don't really care. I don't really give a shit at all.
Said, we're now going to hand things over to Riot Hylia and 100-piece Nuggets, and they'll talk a bit about some of the skins we have coming out this season.
Skins, yes. How they're gonna steal our money. And by our money, I mean mine, mostly. That's okay.
Hi everyone, I'm a million-piece Nuggets.
And I'm Riot Hylia. New year, same us. We're back to talk to y'all about skins, art, and who's gonna be hitting the rift.
Is that supposed to be like a joke that I don't understand? A million-piece nuggets? 100-piece? I don't know. Is there something I'm missing?
Set in December, we're going to have a mix of Demacian and non-Demacian skins to liven things up this season.
So, for both our grab bag skins and our larger lineups, we're reviving some beloved thematics as well as doing some totally new ones.
Starting off strong, next patch will have skins for all our fellow anime lovers. First up, we have Battle Academia, Briar and Samira, alongside our new stylized take on mecha anime with a
Battle Academia? Is that supposed to be a My Hero reference?
Briar and Samira, alongside our new stylized take on mecha anime with a skin for Ornn and a new legendary skin for Galio.
I am so excited for Aegis Frame Galio. The team's done an amazing job and he is looking
That does kind of
so
look sick, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, and of course, we'll also be celebrating Lunar Revel this year. When we were deciding what skins to make, we had a few different ideas. We could bring back something that we haven't done in a while, or we could try something new entirely. And honestly, we couldn't decide, so...
Why not both?
Yep.
Firecracker will be returning this year, bringing a fun, celebratory, and upbeat style to the holiday, with lots of, well, firecrackers.
Firecrackers. And then we'll have a new thematic that we're calling Petals of Spring, that we made in collaboration with Wild Rift. Petals of Spring was inspired by the beautiful elegance of plum blossoms against snowy fields. We really wanted something that could herald the new season of spring with that high beauty, just to make sure we had some tonal contrast from the fun of Firecracker.
But if you're looking for...
Yo, hold up. Hold up. Is that Chandelure?
Tonal contrast from
Pokemon?
the fun of Firecracker.
Question mark?
But if you're looking for something a little goofier, don't worry. We have some pretty unhinged ideas for April Fools this year.
We certainly do. Like last year, we aren't going with a single overarching theme for April Fools. And instead, we're making skins based on what works well for each champion. And we were inspired by a pretty wide range of things like balloon animals, pugs,
Sonks,
to name a few.
That's not
Later in
bad.
Act 2, we'll see a darker side of
That's
Demacia
not bad.
with a new set of skins.
A
And
pug,
we've also got a
Sejuani.
totally thematic we're introducing for First Stand this year.
It's a brand new take on the established Road Warrior theme, where we're reimagining it in a supernaturally fueled, engine-powered fantasy with more edge, leather, chrome, and maybe a little bit of werewolves?
Just a little bit.
Just enough, yeah.
All right, outside of regular
Warwick
skin drops, we
tees.
wanted to take a moment to discuss some lists. So first, Prestige skins.
Prestige Mother Morgana will be out tomorrow. And then later this season, Sona and Mordekaiser will also be receiving Prestige skins.
Outside of Prestige skins, we also have a mythic variant for Aurelian Soul coming next patch, and later this season, Master Yi will be getting one as well.
And finally, let's talk about Exalted skins. Last year we mentioned that Viego would be receiving one, and then that he was delayed. But now it's finally time. Next patch, Revenant Reign Viego will come to the Sanctum.
We worked with a ton of Viego mains to talk about what the ultimate Viego experience is, and it became pretty obvious. Killing your enemies and taking over their bodies.
Oh, and having a huge sword.
Right,
Yeah.
the sword.
Yeah,
Huge
iconic,
sword.
yeah.
So with that
Got
in
it.
mind, we narrowed in on a combination of those two things. So Revenant Reign Viego collects swords from his enemies, gaining power and unique visual effects for every class of enemy he possesses.
There are a ton of cool moments and features in the skin that we cannot wait for y'all to see. So, keep your eyes peeled for the trailer that drops later today.
And finally,
There's a
we wanted to
trailer?
let you know that the victorious
Hey, we know how to
was
stall
Vader's
time, baby.
mustachioed muscle man, Braum. As a reminder, you can get the skin at any rank as long as you play enough games.
All right, well, that's it for us. We'll hand things over to the esports team who've got some updates on their plans for the year.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll be back soon.
Esports.
Bye.
That's good. Esports is good. I actually really want to go to League of Legends like
Head of International Publishing and Esports.
And I'm
event.
Chris, Head of League of Legends Esports.
We're incredibly excited to welcome you to the start of the 2026 League of Legends Esports season.
2025 was a historic year for us, filled with unforgettable storylines, big changes to the format, and incredible competition. And of course, a huge congratulations once again to T1, who made history by becoming the first team ever to win 3 consecutive World Championships. What an unbelievable
T1.
accomplishment for them and for all the fans who followed their journey.
Now, as we turn the page to New Year, we're ready to kick off another incredible season, one that builds on everything we've learned, celebrates our global community, and continues pushing LoL esports forward. Let's dive into what's ahead for 2026 and some key updates shaping the future of LoL esports.
And what better way to begin the season than with our first global event of the year, First Stand. From March 16th to the 22nd, we'll be bringing First Stand to Sao Paulo, Brazil at the Riot Games Arena. Brazil has always been home to some of the most passionate fans in the world, and we couldn't be more excited to bring this event to the heart of CBLOL country. With the LCS and CBLOL returning as independent leagues, the competition will now feature 8 teams battling for early season dominance and regional pride. We'll be welcoming 2 teams from the LCK, 2 from the LPL, and 1 each from the LEC, LCS, CBLOL, and LCP. Every match will be best of 5, which means more games, more silver scrapes, and more opportunities for teams to show their skill, adaptability, and their creativity under pressure.
And that's just the beginning of what's ahead for our 2026 global events. After First Stand wraps up in Brazil, we'll head into the Mid-Season Invitational, hosted this year in Daejeon, South Korea, marking the first time we've ever brought MSI to this incredible city. We'll have more to share on the venue soon, but we couldn't be more excited to bring one of our biggest international events to a new stage in South Korea. And as we head into the new season, in the wake of the success of Fearless, we're continuing to refine how League is played at the highest level. We've been exploring an improvement to side selection in order to give players and teams more agency in the draft.
Yeah, so after detailed discussions with regional leagues, pro teams, and our gameplay team, we've decided to decouple side selection and draft order through a new approach we're calling First Selection. Here's how it works. Teams who previously had the right of side selection will now have the right of first selection. That means they can choose either which side to play on, blue or red, or whether to pick first or second in the draft. Once that choice is made, their opponent can choose the other. So if Team A chooses to play on blue side, Team B gets to decide whether they're going to draft first or second. Or if Team A chooses to draft first, then Team B gets to decide which side they'll play on. This decoupling gives pro teams more strategic flexibility to shape their approach based on their comfort, their preparation, their opponent scouting, whatever, rather than having to rely on the baked-in advantage that is tied to color.
And our goal here is simple. We want to empower teams to make meaningful choices that reflect their strategies and preparation, while also helping to mitigate side imbalance through competitive decision-making rather than through hard-coded advantages. We consider this a minor but targeted update, one designed to complement Fearless Draft, not redefine it. We'll continue to test, monitor, and collect feedback from players and fans as the season unfolds, ensuring that this new approach drives the right kind of competitive balance and depth that we're aiming for.
As we continue refining how competition evolves, it's just as important to honor the players who have shaped League Esports into what it is today. Hall of Legends will return later than usual this year, but fans can still expect its comeback ahead of Worlds 2026. We'll have more to share in the months ahead, but we can promise that our third inductee is another true icon who has left an unforgettable mark on our esports community.
Well, that's a wrap on the latest updates from LoL Esports.
Okay.
We're looking forward to another incredible year of competition, and we'll have more to share soon.
Just the outro.
Coming
Okay.
global events and future updates.
So to every player, every team, every fan around the world, we wish you the best of luck in the 2026 season. Let's make it another year to remember for League of Legends Esports.
Before we go, we want to talk about some longer-term plans for League after.
I want Cynthia.
We're often asked if we're going to make League of Legends 2 someday. And the answer to that has been and remains no. We've always been committed to constantly improving and updating League, from new game modes and champion updates to balancing the game every other week and so on.
There are some things, though, that do make the most sense as part of a larger bundle of changes. And with that in mind, we've been working on some bigger updates to League.
We're not quite ready to show you our work in progress. It's coming along well, but it's just not ready for a first look yet. We want to tell you about some of those things that, at this point, the majority of the League team are now working on.
So, for starters, we're making a brand new around-game client that's fully integrated with the in-game experience, rather than being a separate application like today.
We're also revamping Summoner's Rift with entirely new visuals and
New map,
new gameplay.
PogChamp.
Some changes to runes and how you make some pre-game choices.
And we're overhauling the new player experience so that once we're done, it should be the best time ever to get your friends into League.
There is a bit more to this update than we've mentioned here, and we'll have more to share sometime later this year between MSI and Worlds. Until then, we'll still of course have regular dev updates on everything else going on.
Your love and dedication to League is what drives us to make this game better. Your voices and input are vital to League and will help shape where we go next.
I'm gonna get cucked. This is what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna get cucked. Did we get the Viego thing? Oh shit, we got the Viego thing. Alright, we're gonna take a look at the Viego thing. Let's just check on the login status. Still critical. Still not gonna let me log in. Yeah? Is that what's happening? Because I updated already. Ah. It's not gonna let. Let's watch the Viego thing. Anime Viego.
Feel them. Blades buried in my back. You trusted death to be my end. But death knows only one. Kill me. I will turn your swords against you, one by one.
That's sick. Yo, this is sick.
You will beg for the end. For death. But my revenge has only just begun.
That was quite sick. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, those animations look like they're gonna be worth a lot of money. That's what that was. That was a lot of money. It's not good. Let's see if it'll let me in. Oh man. What? I just want to play the game, dude. That's all I want to do. I don't think I'm asking for much. I think I'm asking for very little. Very, very, very little. I've been streaming for 27 minutes. I've been trying for 10 minutes before I even started streaming. So it's been like 40 minutes. And I can't play the game. The login issues. It's still critical. Apparently, even if you do get in, you might not even be able to play. But let's not worry about not being able to play, because at the moment, we can't even freaking log in. So, he's not good. He's not good. Look. Look, he's not good. Nothing's happening. I can't do anything. Ugh. Ugh. I am upset. I skill capped. Done like
Season 16.
Just a solo one. I can't log in. It won't let me. Dang it, dude. Dang it. I wanted to see if they Skill Cap came out with the jungle guide.
So with the new season releasing January 8th, let's get you guys set up with 3 champions for every single role that we expect to start the year off in incredibly powerful spots. There are so many different changes for this season, and there are definitely certain champs who will benefit more than others, so let's dive into that with an extensive breakdown in today's video. And if you don't want to play fair, so split pushing is going to become
Skipping the ad.
powerful for Season 16 for select top lane champs due to the new role quests. Upon completing the quest for top lane, you will be given a free version of teleport, and if you have taken teleport for one of your summoner spells, then you will just be given a buffed up version of teleport upon completing the quest. It's going to take a while to complete this quest as you won't complete it during lane, so we don't think the quest addition will really influence whether or not you would prioritize teleport, but more so make it so that champs who already liked running Ignite will just have a much stronger mid to late game. So Quinn is the first solo carry top lane champ on the list for this reason. Quinn likes to run Ignite, but now that she'll get access to teleport in the mid game, it'll just make her snowball potential even more insane than before.
I went up against the Quinn yesterday. She fucked me, man. It was horrible. Terrible experience.
Should make her a very powerful powerful solo carry pick. The new Phaelite warding location in the island brush is going to be amazing for Quinn as well. The Phaelite will give you vision that extends all the way down the river, so when you're shoving the enemy under tower, you'll now have more time to react to jungle ganks if they come from the river. On top of this, the new AD assassin item called Bastion Breaker.
I don't know what the Phaelites do. I don't know how much ground they cover.
Bastion Breaker provides you with bonus true damage to towers after killing enemies, so if you're splitting with Quinn, this could end up as a solid purchase. Other than Bastion Breaker now being an option, the core build shouldn't change too much for Quinn, as Profane Hydra as the rush, and then Edge of Night and the Collector as core pickups should still be great, and then Electrocute is the Keystone Rune. Definitely look to prioritize your ban on Malphite if you intend on picking Quinn, as his armor stacking and attack speed slow are pretty annoying to deal with. So a top lane champ
Not gonna let me log in, man.
But had a hard time justifying it over losing teleport is Urgot. We're really high on Urgot to start the season because it's very likely that the enemy top laners you run into will be experimenting with not taking teleport as one of their summoners. Even with the quests, you can still take teleport, and then when you complete the quest, you just get a buffed up version of teleport. Top laners are going to want to experiment with running alternatives though, and this is really where Urgot can look to excel. Urgot himself can look to grab Ignite, and if the enemy top laner also takes Ignite, then he can look to absolutely roll his opponents in lane. There are very few champions who can beat Urgot early on in lane if he can land his E, and therefore if the enemy is not going to teleport, you can set them really.
It's true, I went against Urgot as well, and he fucked me. I had no idea what he was doing.
Last season with Black Cleaver as the rush into Steric's Gauge second. If you want more offensive power after that, then you can grab Bloodmail, while Jockshow is the standard defensive option. You'll want to grab Press the Attack for the Keystone Rune, while the Inspiration Tree is for secondaries. It's mainly ranged top laners who are going to be the most annoying to lane into as Urgot, so banning out Kennen or Vayne is never a bad idea. So with all the new changes that will influence top lane for this season, it's likely we see a rise in auto attack reliant split push champs.
Rock!
To answer that meta shift than Malphite. Malphite was already one of the
solid rock
at the end of season 15, and we expect him to be in a great spot to start the new season as well. Fiora, Tryndamere, Irelia, Jax, Kayle, Yone, Riven, and Quinn are champions that should see a nice uptick in power with split push getting better, and Mal has over a 54% win rate into all of them. Not only is Malphite a great pick into the majority of split push top lane champs, but he has also found really good success in the Zehen matchup, and Zehen priority likely remains quite high, despite him getting nerfed a pretty good amount in the 25.24b patch. Of course, Mal is still going to have a few troublesome matchups, as Sylas is the one you really want to avoid, and therefore perma-banning him if you intend on picking Malphite is what we'd advise. For Malphite's core build, it's a Sunfire or Hollow Radiance rush into situational tank items like Thornmail, Frozen Heart, and Canic Rookern. You should be taking Grasp for the Keystone when in a matchup where the enemy needs to be in melee range to trade with you, whereas if you're against a ranged top or a top who is more spell casting reliant, grab Comet. So moving on to our jungle selections now. First up is going to be Diana. Diana has a lot of potential for season 16 for a few different reasons. First is that ganking has now become a lot more.
They're covering all of them?
Phaelites providing bonus vision.
Oh
Diana
shit.
Doesn't really care as much about this though, because her early
I thought it was just top lane.
She's completely fine.
Okay.
Certain junglers like Nidalee, Elise, or Lee Sin who need to be ahead to be most effective may have a harder time succeeding this season, but for a level 6 spiking jungler like Diana, we think she'll be really strong. Secondly, the Scuttle Crab is now going to be spawning in at 2 minutes and 55 seconds. The problem with this is that some junglers won't be done their full clear by the time the Scuttle is up. Diana, however, will be fine because she has a faster clear than most junglers, so she'll be able to make it to the crab spawn before them, which will be key. And then thirdly, there's a new item being introduced called Dusk and Dawn, and it's literally the perfect item for Diana. It's a mix between Rocket Belt, Lichbane, and Nashor's, as Dusk and Dawn will provide you with 300 health, 70 AP, 20 haste, and 25% attack speed, while it's got the Spellblade passive. This Spellblade passive is even more insane on Diana than for most champs, because after you use a spell, it will proc on hit effects twice. As we can see in the background clip here, a Q followed up by 2 auto attacks will proc Diana's passive. So what this means is that Dusk and Dawn will provide you with way more passive procs throughout an extended skirmish. If you want to go for a more bruiser style of Diana, then a Dusk and Dawn rush into Liandry's 2nd and Riftmaker 3rd is a core build we expect to gain in traction. The issue with building Nashor's and Lichbane on Diana before is that the items just left her super squishy, but with Dusk and Dawn providing health, it eliminates that weakness. Matchup-wise for Diana, Jax is a good ban to consider, as his dodge from E makes skirmishing a lot more difficult for Diana. For Diana's rune page, you should be taking Conqueror for the Keystone, and then dip into Inspiration for secondaries. So early ganking gets harder for the majority of junglers due to the new Phaelite warding locations, but there are
Is that a Talon?
who won't be affected as much. Talon is one jungler in specific that we think should see a nice boost in relative power because of his ability to dodge common warding locations with his ability to traverse over walls. Both bot and top lane are going to be heavily warding the island brush that has the Phaelite in it, so ganking through the river is going to be really hard this season. For Talon though, what he can look to do is path into the Dragon or Baron pit, hop over the wall, and then make his way through the Tri-Brush to gank. When playing against most junglers, simply warding the island brush is going to be enough to spot enemy jungle ganks, but for someone like Talon who can hop right over walls, he's going to be impacted significantly.
That's kind of sick.
By all these vision changes. Matchup-wise,
I didn't know he could do that.
Playing into champs who are going to build tanky and especially stack armor. So with Malphite being a popular jungler and top laner right now,
I have both of these champions, by the way.
build for Talon is going to consist of a Ghostblade Rush into Axiom Arc Second and Opportunity or Edge of Night.
I have a sick skin for Talon as well.
Inspiration is for secondaries. One jungler who's been very underrated for a long time, who we think should benefit a ton for Season 16, is Zyra. So, due to the fact that Scuttle Crab now spawns in at 2 minutes...
I don't have Zyra.
It doesn't give the majority of junglers time to gank or invade after they are done their full clear. For example, Zac is done clearing at 2 minutes and 50 seconds if optimized, while Zyra is able to finish a full clear 10 seconds sooner at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. This is if fully optimized, though, as most average jungler players won't even be done their clears by the time Scuttle spawns. If you can be sitting in brush prior to Scuttle spawning and chunk the enemy jungler out as they have to face check into you, then that can give you a massive edge up in winning the Scuttle fight. So because Zyra can clear faster than the majority of junglers, she can look to control the river brush and poke away at the enemy jungler if they try and contest her for Scuttle. If the enemy jungler is playing a slow clearing champion, then you can even look to invade them after your full clear and try to poke away as they are trying to...
She looks so boring.
And then not only this, but similar to what we mentioned when covering Diana, ganking is simply going to be much...
Maybe I'll eat my words one day.
So picking a jungler who can just farm extremely fast like Zyra is going to be good value. Zyra is a champion who doesn't need to be accelerated a ton in the early game to succeed, as she only really needs her Liandry's to be effective, so hard farming and getting to the Liandry's spike as soon as possible is a very simple win condition to play for. After Liandry's, you can either build into Rylai's or Shadowflame, and then Zanya's is generally a good third purchase. Shadowflame will be most optimal into more squishy enemy comps where they won't be stacking a ton of resists. Otherwise, Rylai's is always a solid pickup. And then for the rune setup, you want to be taking Electrocute for the Keystone, followed by Precision for secondaries. Matchup-wise for Zyra, she wants to avoid playing into super heavy dive, and champs who have the ability to get onto her very easy,
like
so
Hecarim.
banning out Hecarim is good value. If you see a Cassiopeia without boots in Season 16, then for the first time in history, it actually means she is trolling, as it's no longer a meme. Cass can now buy boots as her passive is being changed so that instead of providing bonus movement speed, you will now increase the effectiveness of movement speed by 6, scaling to 40%. So what does this actually mean then? Well, based on our testing, Cassiopeia will be gaining a lot more movement speed for Season 16. In Season 15, if you had
She's
your
so fast.
and were level 7, you would have 356 movement speed. In Season 16, however, if you have boots, you will now be up at 388 movement speed, which is a 32 movement speed gain. When hitting an enemy with Q in Season 15, your movement speed would spike to 453, but in Season 16, it will now spike to 484, which is a 31 movement speed gain. And then if you procced Phase Rush in Season 15, you would see your movement speed at 486, while in Season 16, it will be up at 519, which is the 33 movement speed gain. Access to more movement speed is just a nice boost to Cass because she's so reliant on her spacing to be effective. Not just this, but the fact that Cass now has the ability to opt into Merc Treads or Steel Caps is huge for her too. Cassio with Merc Treads when playing into a magic damage heavy or CC heavy comp is going to feel so much better. On top of this, the fact that ganking for junglers is going to become harder this season, we may see skirmishing around Scuttle Crab increase, and playing someone like
Just 1v1 people. Just hit them hard, bonk them. Trundle jungle.
For this season, as Rod of Ages rush into Rylai's and Archangels will
That's the game plan.
won't be needing phase rush as much now that Cass just has more movement speed, so Conqueror should be the optimal keystone for most games. In regards to Cassiopeia's matchups, she doesn't like playing into longer ranged mages who have strong zone control, so banning out Syndra is good value. With Hextech Gunblade making a comeback for Season 16,
We have Katarina.
viability to Katarina.
We have a Katarina. We can do this.
So nice for Katarina because in a way, it actually adds more damage to Katarina's R. Since Gunblade slows,
I think I also have a skin for Katarina.
they will be forced to sit inside your R range for longer, leading to more DPS for
Which doesn't matter, but
Gunblade is 147% gold efficient. It provides 40 AD, 80 AP, 10%
oh, Gunblade's back.
and 10% spell vamp. 40 AD
I feel like they already said that though.
80 AP is worth 60% 1600 gold, 10% lifesteal is worth 535 gold, and 10% spell vamp is worth 900 gold. So that's 4,435 gold in value for an item that only costs 3,000 gold. This isn't even taking into account the active. So if Gunblade ships to live servers in the state that it's in on PvE, then we expect for Katarina to be really good. Even though Gunblade is 147% efficient from its stats, you do have to keep in mind that not all champs have the ability to take advantage of both the AD and AP from the item. So it's really not a strong item unless you build on a specific character like Katarina, who has AD and AP ratios on all her abilities. After rushing Gunblade, you'll have many different ways you can go about your build. Lichbane and Shadow Flame will be options if you want more magic damage, while Blade of the Ruined King and Kraken Slayer are viable if you want more physical damage. An item combo of Gunblade and Blade of the Ruined King does sound pretty nasty because of all the lifesteal you'll be getting, and it will make sustaining in fights with Katarina really nice. For the Keystone Rune, Electrocute and Conqueror will both be viable. If you're playing into more tanky enemy comp, then Conqueror value goes up, while into more squishies, you will want Electrocute. Point and click
Electrocute
is what Katarina wants to avoid playing into the most, as it makes team fighting with
fuck Lissandra,
so
dude.
banning out Galio or Lissandra is always good value. And then for our third solo carry mid lane selection, watch out for Echo to start off the season. First off, with Riot updating turrets a bunch for season 16, it's going
Echo, shout out Mock.
to make split push champs a lot better. Melee champs are going to be dealing 20% more damage to turrets, and there's now going to be
ADC and then supports. I can't log in yet, can I? It's not gonna let me in. Just not. No. Ah, man, dude, I just want a game. I just want to play these games and I can't, and I've been streaming for an hour. I've just done nothing but watch YouTube videos. I'm gonna call it, guys. I'm gonna call it tonight because I'm upset. I can't game. I can't do anything. So I tried. I tried. I really did. I really did sit here and try, but just doesn't want it. Doesn't want it to happen. Doesn't want it to happen. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next stream.